I have been an artist entrepreneur since I was a young teenager. I have spent my life making my own jobs, and you can too. My name is Kathleen Laziza, and I am the Executive Director of Micromuseum. This series is called Make It Your Own. It is designed to encourage people to use their talents for their own personal economic development. Because in 21st century America, there are no jobs. Nobody owes you a job. You have to make your own job. And this is what artists do every single day. This series is not advocating that you personally become an artist, but rather that you learn to think like an artist. Listen to these artists talk about their experiences. Episode 5, Using All Your Talents.
Artist, and if you're considering the artist as a pioneer, some of those pioneers are creating things from scratch.
Yeah.
They're not on a boat going to a destination. They are creating something or finding something, exploring, discovering something from scratch.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think as an artist who tries to do that as much as possible, well, obviously we all have influences and we all, things come from a million different places. But we really feel like we own it because it's come out of nowhere. And we are kind of in love with it that much.
I believe that love that's been given to me shines through all my work and through my presence on the planet, and that there's something about really honoring children when they create things, like your daughter, and making that the specialness of that, but supporting them for who they are as they grow. It's just that kind of permission we can also give each other as adults.
There's another way of looking at it that says being maybe more sensitive than the average person to certain things, like you were describing, looking at a butterfly for 15 minutes, having that kind of sensitivity and maybe questioning, sort of maybe more questioning than the average person, let's say. I mean, who could say that? But that puts uniqueness in a different perspective when it becomes something that's positive. A gift, rather than a hindrance.
And I remember being a really little girl, and I heard Maya Angelou, and I mean, I think she was like the only black, poet, and that anyone really knew of. And she was saying, and it was on television, and she was saying, "And still I rise, right? You may write me down in history with your bitter, twisted lies, trod me in the very dirt, but still like dust, I rise," right? And that, like, hearing that, like, I feel like really flung open the windows of, like, my consciousness, like I don't know, I gravitated to that, you know what I mean? I think that was the first idea that I ever had that, like, words could ignite you.
I didn't mean that inspired work necessarily has to come from a bad place. I meant sometimes it doesn't come from a balanced place or a healthy place initially, but that balance can be achieved via the process.
I agree with you 100%. It was my way of venting, finally, because I don't vent in public. Rarely do I ever vent in public. And it gets a little scary when you want to say what you really feel, especially in times like this, when everything you say is scrutinized and everything you say is examined.
There are a few moments where we'll be asking panelists to speak in a time restraint. Should they go over, I will slowly indicate that they have gone over. Should they go too far in a direction that we find collectively to be problematic, we will go more seriously I hope you won't be seeing this again, and I'm sure you don't either. I would like to ask that everyone performs this last question. And the last question is, I'd like you to say no to a project.
Just because I did this on Thursday, and so I'll just, the same thing works here. My day rate is $1,700 an hour.
I guess I do it by saying my calendar, that date is full. So if my calendar's booked, I wish I could, but I've already said yes to somebody else.
I'd love to do this, but I don't feel I can actually give it the time and thought that it deserves, so I'm going to say no. It's an important project, and I can give you some context, but
Now you're being honest.
Yeah. I'm very flattered to be asked, but I don't do anything that I don't generate, and that's it.
Kathy, could you say that again? Because I'm always struggling with like, yeah, you're all doing a great collaborative thing, I believe in it, and I don't want to be involved in it. Because I'm always balancing the collaborative, like, yes, I want to do things with other people, but I want to also have my autonomous creative thing there.
And for me, and this is just the truth, is that the work that I generate takes all of my time outside of the time I use to make money to survive.
I think creativity is something people do kind of without really examining it, but everyone is doing it kind of all the time because we are all expressing ourselves in ways that aren't considered art, but like, you know, how we look, our hair, our clothes, our interiors, and then, you know, kind of any interaction is a little bit of a performance.
Aside from eating lots of sweet potatoes and other vitamin B things that boost serotonin production, what do you do?
Spending time or reaching out to friends, connecting with people who know me and believe in me more than I believe in myself.
Here are 3 steps to remember. Step 1. Make the time to develop social and professional networks that keep on expanding. Step 2. Don't allow anyone to discourage you from your goals. They know nothing and you should move on. Step 3. Becoming a good time manager sometimes means you have to say no. To learn more about this series, make it your own, visit micromuseum.com.